We get this question a lot from people in our field. Just how hard is the PMP exam in 2025? It feels like one of those legendary professional hurdles. Let's dive into the 2025 PMP landscape. It's still the most coveted credential in the field, but the bar has been raised. We're looking at a 200-question marathon that must be finished in exactly 4 hours, covering everything from cost management to complex stakeholder psychology.
Right? And what's striking is that it's not a memory test anymore. You can't just recite the PMBOK guide and expect to pass. You have to apply those principles to messy, gray area scenarios. It's essentially a 4-hour simulation of a project manager's worst day at the office. The exam is testing how you think under pressure when the perfect textbook answer simply doesn't exist in the real world.
That makes sense. It's more about judgment than pure knowledge.
Exactly. And there's a reason the failure rate is a common topic in forums. The exam updates aren't just cosmetic. They reflect how industries like IT, finance, and even the military have merged their standards into this one certification. So you aren't just being tested as a generic manager, but as a cross-industry strategist who understands these different environments.
So the exam is broader and faster than ever. But if the scope is this massive, how do people actually bridge the gap between knowing the material and actually passing the test?
Well, that's where the strategy really comes into play.
When it comes to actually prepping, we're seeing two very different schools of thought. You have the traditional route, months of slow, steady study, and then you have these PMP camps that claim they can get you certified in just 1 to 4 weeks through total immersion.
It's a classic sprint versus marathon trade-off. The camps are attractive for busy execs, no doubt, but they rely heavily on high-pressure tactics like nonstop mock exam marathons and specialized guidance to, let's be honest, kind of hack the test-taking process. Some even use things like exam dumps to fast-track it. You can spend 6 months wandering through the PMBOK or 1 week in a war room. Either way, the price is paid in hours, not just dollars.
Whether you take a week or a year, the goal is the same. But beyond just passing, there are some very specific tactical shifts for 2025 that can make or break a candidate's score.
Yes, absolutely. And this is the most important part.
To wrap up, the winning strategy for 2025 is clearly shifting. It's about leveraging current mock exams to get the pacing right and focusing on core principles rather than memorizing every line of the guide. Plus, there's a huge emphasis now on pre-exam rest to keep your head clear.
Exactly. If you're exhausted when you walk in, those 200 questions will start looking like a blur by hour 3. I always tell people the PMP is 50% knowledge and 50% mental stamina. The 2025 exam is won in the final 48 hours, not by cramming one last chapter, but by ensuring your brain has the stamina to survive 240 minutes of high-stakes decision-making.
Interesting. So the rest is actually part of the strategy, and
It's critical. And here's the real aha moment. The exam is designed to see if you can manage a project times while time's being stressed. The time limit times is times the project constraint. If you can't manage your own 4-hour exam, the examiners figure you probably can't manage a multi-million-dollar budget under pressure.
that's a great way to look at it. The exam itself is your first project. So let's sum up the big takeaways for anyone aiming for those 3 letters behind their name this year.
You got it. First, remember the 2025 format is a brutal 4-hour, 200-question test that prioritizes real-world application, not just theory. It pulls from finance, IT, and other industries. Second, you have 2 prep paths: the slow and steady marathon or the high-intensity boot camp that can get it done in weeks. Third, and most importantly, it's all about the application shift. Forget flashcards, focus on mock exams and gray area thinking. And finally, stamina is strategy. Your brain needs to be fresh. The rest you get in the 2 days before the test is just as vital as any chapter you studied.